Here we are for video numero 2. So I did get a lot of updates on this, so I just wanted to fill you guys in with what I've learned, what I was able to learn in the past couple days. Like, I've learned a whole lot more on this car that even that information might not, like for the guys that own Bernardis, they might not even know about this. Like, I spoke with the grandson of the guy that built these cars, the owner. I spoke with people that worked on these cars, and I spoke with the original owner of these cars. So it is pretty fascinating. So one thing I want to say is start by, because a lot of people, cause I've received a lot of messages on Facebook, a lot of comments on eBay, sending me messages, etc. Some had questions, some said like really nice, they wish they could afford it. But yeah, so one thing that I asked to know where did the name Bernardi come, right? Were they trying to just do a ripoff of like Ferrari or something? Well, not really, not at all. What happened is the guy that was hired to do all the body work, like to do the bodies, because they're all like working together, different shop, his name was Bernard. And they wanted him to make sure that the bodies were 100% what this car should be. And the work, the craftsmanship needed to be perfect. So what did they do? Mr. Fortier, I can't remember Fortin, I think it's Fortier, said, what we'll do is we'll call the car Bernardi, right? So Bernard, which was the one that was working on the bodies, like perfecting the bodies, had to do a awesome job because his name was on there now. It was Bernardi. So I found that pretty interesting. Another thing that was interesting is I received some brochures and stuff, which I've added to the eBay listings, or the new pictures that were added. And these were actually brochures that the grandson had, which is pretty awesome. He's going to look to see what else he's got. One of the guys told me a little bit about parts, etc. So when the buyer buys it, I'll give him a rundown of what parts are on here, so brakes, etc. So it's easy to change. It's not going to be hard to find parts. Like, everything is relatively easy to find. So I'll be able to give that just to the buyer. I don't want to spread that information, etc. And after that, what did I want to do at Touch Base? I had so much stuff that I wanted to talk about that now I'm forgetting. The windshield. The windshield alone, apparently back in the day, was $7,000. So that's $7,000 Canadian, but that was back in 1986. One cool fact is there was exactly 18 cars built. One not so cool fact, well, it could be cool in one sense because it makes it rarer, but there is at least 2 to 4 that have been crashed or burnt in the first years of them being out. So that means that it brought down the number down to like 14, right? There is 2 white ones right now. There is a purple one. There is a black one, which we don't exactly know where it is. There is a light red one, which we don't know exactly where it is. It's somewhere, hopefully. And then there's this one. What makes this one so special, in my eyes anyways, this was car numero uno. So this was the one that they tried a bunch of engines in. They tried a bunch of experimental stuff. So this is fairly awesome. The reason why I'm actually pretty happy to know that is because I was looking in the engine bay and I saw that there was some shift cables, and I was like for a manual transmission, I was like, well, this is auto. Like, obviously it's an auto stick shift in there, so it makes no sense. And then I looked underneath, there was a pedal like up to the top on the firewall, and it's a clutch pedal. I was like, what? But apparently this one, they swapped in a manual at one point, and they kept all the running gear for a manual, except the shifter itself. So it'd be easy for somebody to just swap in a manual transmission just with a shifter assembly, because the cables already ran, the clutch lines, etc. So that to me made it pretty awesome. And what else? Yeah, it's been like the numbers of messages, the numbers of inquiries on Facebook, on social media about this car has been crazy. Like, I kind of thinking I should keep this car, A, for the history about it, and B, because the look is growing on me. Like, you can't even imagine. Like, if you've never seen one in person, I'm telling you, pictures don't do justice. Like, it doesn't do justice at all. Because in pictures, it looks like super long, etc. But like, just look at these cars for an example, right? So we've got a Scion FRS. That one has an LS swap, but it's stock height. We've got a smart car. That one has a 2.4 liter, 240 horsepower, 6-speed manual engine. And then we got this. So it's comparing it to the smart. Keep in mind, this is like 4-inch, 5-inch off the ground because of the casters, right? Higher. It's still like 6-inch lower than a stock FRS. And that's without even removing that. So it's like a foot lower than an FRS. That is nuts. If you look at the width, I can't really tell on camera, but it is wide. Like, this thing is wide. I don't know. Still on the fence, but not really on the fence because you guys are bidding on it. Whoever wins it will have a killer car. If you want me to work on it, get it going. You can buy the car and you can pay us to work on it. That wouldn't be a problem at all. We'd love to work on this car and make it to either back to where it was before, like this, building it back to stock, or B, doing like I would do it. Because if I build this for myself, which is the problem why I'm selling it, is that I change so much stuff, right? Front bumper, it's an 80s vehicle, it looks it. I would change that. I'd change the whole front end, put different types of headlights just to make it flow a little better. Maybe like, people are gonna kill me, but not pop-up headlights. I'm not a big fan of those. But I changed the front end. When it would come, I'd put a splitter, a lip, a lowering piece to the front end because it looks like squarer, right? Same thing with the sides, like extend the side skirts, make nice side skirts. Engine-wise, I'd put an LS, I'd put a manual transmission. Like, it would be built totally different. I'd lower it a little bit, put coilovers. Like right now it is, show you a little bit. It's the suspension, right? And this is not rust, guys. It's been sitting, so this cleans up really good. And when it comes to rebuilding it, right? A person can go and just paint it, make it look nice, put another engine in it and drive it. It's gonna be a plentiful car. You're gonna get so many views. You're gonna get so many people asking you questions about it. Or you could do like I would do. I take the whole body off, which yes, it does take a lot more time. It adds a lot of hours to put in the car, but you could epoxy or even powder coat the full frame and make it what it should be. Yeah, I'm getting a little too attached to this car now, but no, this is something that whoever buys it, whoever wins the bidding, will definitely love. Right now, there's 4 days left on the auction, and I hope that these videos are helpful. If they are not, let me know. If you need any information, like for an example, somebody asked me what this was for. I think I mentioned it in the first video, but they did not see it, but this is to lock the door. As far as the paint goes, it's been sitting, right? So it's just paint. It's nothing's cracked except like this portion here, which is easily fixable. It's fiberglass. So yeah, here it is, video number 2. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on Facebook. Feel free to message me on eBay. I can send you the brochures if you want to see it. I can give you more details. But all in all, this is an awesome project for anybody that wants a cool, unique ride. Thank you. Oh, before I go, as far as shipping goes, there's a lot of people that have been inquiring about shipping. It would be your responsibility to ship it. If you're within Canada, it's simple, ready to go. I got contacts that do across Canada every week, so that wouldn't necessarily be a problem. In the US, there are different ways to ship it. I can give you guidance. I can help you with that for the customs clearing, etc. I can give you details on that. But make sure that if you do bid, the payment needs to be done within 7 days. If it does take a little longer for you to get the planning, etc. for the shipping, that's not a problem. It could stay here. It's a big garage. It's not in the way. And we'll get you sorted out to make sure that the car can get to you in one piece, no damage, and yeah. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.